Alright, it looks like we are live. Welcome everybody. I am Alexander.Tatsumaki and this is my stream. Today on the stream, talking about some price action ideas, mostly the daily charts, outlook, how I will trade them for this coming week, what my plans are. Also pay attention to what I have above over here. It's a risk disclaimer. Also, if you want not to read this, if you think this is too much, you can also listen to my voice. In a link down below, there's another risk disclaimer about trading. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. And so it's, yeah, feel free to look at that. Now, so today, the daily charts, right? For those of you who don't know me, I am Alexander.Tatsumaki. I trade a managed account. I trade for some clients, private clients. Of course, I can't disclose their accounts, etc. It goes without saying. I also have many ideas about trading. I post a lot on forums, talk to other people that are profitable traders, and talk to people that are quite honestly very confused about trading. So I hope that at least somebody learns something from watching my stream. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them, post them, whatever. Yeah, and we'll see what I can do about that. So now let's get on with this show. So what we have here is let me just move this thing in the way. Yeah, okay. So what we have here is the Euro USD. I have put my comment on this chart for new long perhaps, but the price broke through this, so this is not. We'll use the Fibonacci tool for later, but the comment, we don't need that anymore. So if we zoom out, we can see that this I created earlier. Let's just see if we can actually see. Yeah, I created this at... Did I create that? Nah, never mind that. Anyway, this area is marked outlined, and what we have now is an engulfing formation in progress. And I would very much like to pick this up, because look at the bottoms, man. I would very much like to pick this up for long. The only thing, issue I have with this is, I mean, for sure, stop would have to be here, right? And if I enter at this position, there's like 1.5 hour up to the next problem area, perhaps. Up also, this is the old lock zone. This would be the lock, and this would be the target in this case, so 3.5 hours, something like that. The problem I have with this is, for this particular system, I'm using a filter for filtering out trades. Almost certain that the filter is beneficial, although I will say this: what it does is it takes away quite a lot of trades, and it makes the account trade way less. So that's one thing. And yeah, sometimes I notice trades like this, for example. This will probably be something that many people will pick up. And that meaning many people will probably buy the euro, and I won't do that in this particular case for this system, just because of the filter. And the filter is this green and red lines. They are actually the Kumo from Ichimoku system, and I've just chosen to blank out all the other lines, and I only use the top and the bottom line, so green and red, like this. Now so that's the entry. No real other idea for the euro daily chart, really, besides this. I mean, we can, if we look at this, just looks like one big chop area, although consider the chop is about 1,100 pips wide, so do with that what you will. Now for this particular trade, would be 150 pips, yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I would like to buy it my system filters tell me not to buy it. No, in the future they go together, so maybe if we go up a bit, the green will come above the red and we will be able to purchase it later. So no really ideas for this. Let's just zoom in like that. Wait, before we do that, actually, let's do this. So I actually don't miss that. Yeah, if I happen to watch this. See? Now I will not forget, because what's this box over here? Yeah, that's what it is. Dollar yen. Failed the short recently. No matter. Next level is close here. Filter says long. So we don't really care for this, although similar Harami formation is forming up top here, and some trade like this would be possible, where I could perhaps choose to go short at this place, stop for some how much is this? 190 pips, and the lock would be here, 2.5 sorta. Or perhaps this, yeah, this is better, 2R. So again, the filter says that I can't trade this. I find often that dollar yen creates the opposite signal of the euro yen, although not always, but yeah, quite often. So I won't trade this, but Harami information, and yeah. So the price, the power to go up should be over, and perhaps we'll get like a retrace down and up and a spike and go down with a pin bar, but who knows, right? Anyway, yeah, has been going up for quite a while. Old area here. Apparently, it looks like still has some sellers coming in. So yeah, in the future maybe I will look to short this. Let's see. Yeah. This is the Euro GBP. In between some levels, looking to go long this at this level, although broken through. I would have to see a big spike and some formation, something to go long here, but I doubt that will happen. This area is the next area that's interesting, so I would want to go long at this place, although if we go that far down, I bet the lines will be changing the direction like this, you see? If we come here, if we go down here, they are still looking like this, telling me to go long, right? This place. But if we go down here and we are in this region, then yeah. So Euro GBP looking to go long. Doesn't look like I can go long right now for this system. JBP USD recently closed a long position in this. Right now, filter is telling me to look for shorts. Looking for shorts in this place would only be, I mean, I would look for in the recent bottom here, or if price retraces down to this area and then later comes back up here, then it would be interesting to me to short it, meaning this, right? This area here. If we can zoom in, let's see if we can get look at that. Yeah, so you see what I mean, right? We're currently here, and this is a place where I want to short. All right, this place. Also this area, but when I zoom it in so we can see it better. So if price chooses to go down first and touches this area here, if that happens, then a retrace would be interesting. If it doesn't go down and touch it and go straight up from here, then a short at this level is not interesting. The reason is no new level was created while doing this. That's the entire reason for why it's interesting or not. And let me just change one thing. Where's this thing? Right. I want to, yes, I want to do this. Right. So anyway, yeah, that's on that JBP USD, and I will remove these as they are not interesting currently. Let's now look at dollar CAD. So dollar CAD has been problematic for quite a while. The reason, I think, in my mind, the reason is the way it's been going down straight like this. I mean, that's not really anything tradable besides spike and power bar closed down. That's interesting. Or this pin bar up, but the filter says down, so really no spikes, power bar down here. But yeah, if you wanna look at my interpretation on the power bar, yeah, I may link it. Yeah, we'll see about that. But it's I have a video about my definition about the power bar on my page in the trading mechanics section. There are currently, I think, 4 videos that I have made. And yeah, so you check that out if you want to know more about that concept. So the thing is with the dollar CAD is, I mean, it's been just going flat like this. Going very flat doesn't really create anything useful trading wise in my mind. This is the recent low that we had. This was the high as created by the lowest low created this level. We came back down, created this level again, same as this. That's why this is important. Similarly, this is important as well because this creates these two similar high. But so we have this level, right? And from that, price has just been going up. So from this point, this level is not interesting. It's the current level. For this to be interesting, price would have to retrace down to the previous level, which is this. Would have to retrace down here from this point, right? Then it would be interesting because this is was the level that was in play earlier. Just some water. So this was the level that was important earlier, and if price chooses to retrace down to this, then and only then I would think that this level is interesting, is something to use. And so that's the dollar CAD, nothing useful. Yeah, dollar Aussie dollar, quite some levels. This was broken, this is not important anymore. This is the old level and might come back into play if price chooses to come here. So the filter currently says short, and we have a power bar here. I choose not to enter on this power bar. Anyway, yeah, it's because the spike is a bit too big. So yeah, we have the high here, and this is a previous level. I can show you. Can show you like this, I think. Yeah, previous top here, bottom top, like a measured move, same size up, right? You know how it works. So previous level, top, bottom. This bottom creates a high that's similar to this. It really stops here plenty of times, and that's why this is important. And then we have this area creates the new high as compared to this. That's why this is important. And we came back to the area same as this, and then we came back and we went like pinball like this, right? Just up and down, same range. So this zone region, this blue could become interesting once again for a short. This could also become interesting for a short because this is where the power was to create the high in the first place. So that's the short scenario. Looking at the long though, because this box down here was where we had power earlier, then that's where yeah, that's where I'd want to look at putting on some long positions. As it stands right now, it's creating some kind of breaking formation. It looks similar to Harami, but it is not close to a level that I find interesting. I'm sure it's probably interesting on an H4, H1. That's not what I trade with this particular account though. We could go to H4, H1 and see if there is something there though. And it looks like there is not. Perhaps we have to go even lower. Never mind. There's nothing there, and moving on to next chart. We have the gold chart. Yeah, entered this. Never mind. The old level here creates a top. This level again, same level creates a top, comes back down. chops around. This is the highest point, and also a gap. That's where the lock is here. Lock might become here as well. And this, I entered this on this pin. Level is just average size bar added as a padding to the stop, and it's how many pips is this? It's like 260 pips or something like that. And yeah, so if price comes back up to this point, that currently what I'm looking at, actually let's just move it to here, because this is what I will do if we get there. This is the lock. Previous low becomes lock. Yes, good to know. And then we have a target that's, maybe the target should be at R3 actually here, and it should be, yeah, at this. Not I never put it at the pin. I always put it at the close price that we closed at. Never mind. So yeah, if you want to see that, you see the thick part. I always put it at the thick part like that. I never put it at the pins. That's just asking for it. Anyway, so the silver, similar information as gold, such as gold. However, I didn't find it as interesting, so I didn't put any positions on, because gold just looked so much better, and silver is, well, not useful. Currently, we have the Kiwi NZD USD. Previous level here, filter says down, but look at the engulfing formation at this place. Wow, beautiful. Very nice. If we close like this. Average sizes sort of like this. Also happen to cover these two levels. I'd have to lock it. This is too tight. This place, probably lock it, yeah. So probably extend this area out. If I didn't have the filter, let me just do this. If I didn't have the filter telling me to go short, I would probably add to a long if it closed like this. And I would lock at this blue box range for 1.5 R. I would lock it maybe to here at 0.5. Targets should be at like 2.8, 2.9 R up here probably. And that's the NZD USD. So yeah, I discussed this earlier. We had power here. Similar philosophy, doesn't really change. Charts change, philosophy doesn't really change that much. And Euro CAD, yeah, have a long in this. I did have power here. This is in Swedish. I had power here. Add on the spinning top and close some gap. Another spinning top, Harami formation. Hopefully this will climb back up. And lock is at this position here. Target is at this position here. And it's just yeah, chop. Just chop currently. Hopefully this will go up. Not much to say about this. The lows are here, and yeah. Euro yen, yeah. Wrong filter. Wrong filter comment is for this black pin actually. And let me just check one thing. And this, yeah. So. Right, so the wrong filter wording is for the pin kinda looking formation, the black one here. It's at the previous level. Filter is in the wrong direction, just barely, but that's enough, man. It's like that one movie, right? If you win by an inch or a mile, you win, right? You win, yeah. That's, hey, if I can see it, then I can. If I can't see it, well, then I can't. So anyway, filter is telling me to look for longs. That won't happen unless we retrace down to this level here. So currently I'm actually looking to go short this pair, but the filter is in the wrong direction. And yeah, I would want to short it here, lock it at this point, and target these lows. Moving on. JBP, JPY, and that is precisely what I did as the Euro JPY. The signal is some kind of spinning top formation here, and just stop. What is this stop? Like 150 pips or something like that. 290 pips actually. 290 pips for a stop, and target is down here for I don't know how many pips. Doesn't really matter too much. The lock, I chose this zone here because actually because it's close to the previous lows and it's moved sideways in this direction. It looks like we would have let's see if I can replicate this. Yeah, so at this point we would have 2R on our open position if we get to this box, and I would lock probably 0.8, 0.7 close to this, inside this small choppy formation if we get there. And the philosophy here is similar to Euro Yen, although the JPY is much more clean. That's why I chose to trade that pair instead. Old power area here coinciding with price action formation and my filter in the right direction, and we have RR, so over 4R possible. And yeah, that's, you just pull the trigger when it looks good. Euro JPY filter currently in the wrong direction. We had power here to create the new lows. The new lows are actually this range. This had power to create the lows. This was the lows, similar to this, but they are broken. And I would actually want to short this, but because this big spike is here, I don't really want to short it here, because if you look at the RR perspective, I mean, if you create a pin like this, I mean, yeah, sure, nice, great, right? Even if I zoom in, this is the Euro out, by the way. Even if you do this, right, you have a stop above it, kind of like this, or the average size is quite some bit bigger, so maybe like this, a stop, right? Stop for 180 pips, 170 pips, something like that. And you have a 1.5 R. The only problem I have with that is a huge spike here, and it just doesn't look clean. For me to like this, and for me to think that this looks nice, I would want to stop at least to this level, right? To the same level as the spike. And then I wouldn't want, I actually don't like to put stops at the spike, at the actual turning point, because no, I want to encompass the spike. I don't want to touch the spike, right? And by several pips, and that's why I have my average bar size padding that I put on top of all my trades, and which, I mean, in this case, I mean, average bar size is like the thickness of these blue squares, right? And if we add this thickness to this box, we get like this area right here, and that would be a trade for 540 pips. But the only problem with that is if we do that, the one R is way below, and we have like 0.5 R to the bottom. That's just not something I want to do. So I'll just another setup will come around, will show itself at another time, and there's no need for me to push to trade this position. I like to have at least 1.5 R in my on my trades possible, or I just don't want to trade them. Moving on, Euro NZD daily charts. Yes, like I just said, for little RR it means not enough RR. So if I were to trade this here, I don't remember the actual reason for the fib, but if I was to trade like this, notice how it's 1.5 up to the spike, really not clean. What's this level? I mean, no, there's nothing on here. Currently the filter says long, so yeah, maybe long. But personally, I would like to see a retrace down here in this region, and then a nice power signal to the long side before I add to this. And on top of, actually, I want the RR to be possible, and for the RR to be possible, there's 1.5. Wait, now let's give it some room. Now it's got 1.5, right? If I enter at this level, let's zoom that in so you can see it. if I would enter here, right at the red line, my stop would be here. If that was the case, then I would have 1.5 R up to this region here, which is what I would like to see at the minimum. It still doesn't look clean, mind you. The gap does not look clean here. I don't want to go long against the gap, even though we closed above it and go down again. I don't want to do that. Also the spike rejecting all this range. I mean, how much does this spike actually reject? This entire range here. So I don't want to go long here. It doesn't look clean. But yeah, adding along here, stop here, targeting this area for 2.5 R, maybe in the future, not as it looks currently. And we will leave it like this. AUD yen, final chart for today. I currently have 2 short positions on. It's because one signal survived. Average bar size is the padding I put on top of a trade, and it just happens that it's up there, and the next trade is actually a smaller. Yeah, well, one short is here, one short is here, so they have smaller stops. Anyway, it looks like this creates an engulfing formation here. And when I noticed that, I added to the trade. And it's down here, but that's just time shift. So anyway, yeah, targets for the recent low. Same low as this. This entire box is the power that I noticed on the lower side. The reason it's this wide is because this spike is so big, right? How much rejection does this spike of this bar represent? Think about that, because that's how I think about it. So yeah, and I will lock it here. That's my original plan, to lock this position if I reach this box here, right? But what I'm currently thinking is, I'm looking at this gap. If we touch the gap, I want to lock it. I'm all over that. And also, if we close, like if we're closing here, this formation is like a recent high for me. And if we close, I mean, if in this area here, I'm locking these positions, period. And that's all there is to that. Yeah, and that's all my trades for today. I will be recording another video this week for some more trading mechanics related subjects, and I will try to have that out. It should show up on Saturday, maybe Sunday, depending on the editing I need to do for it, and the other video filming I need to do for it. Anyway, so yeah, if you like the stream, comment if you have any ideas. Yeah, and I hope you learned something. I'm Alexander.Tatsumaki. That's it.